Hello, this is Martin Coleman. I'm going to be talking about some of the expectations of students and instructors in online learning. First thing, we're going to talk a little about class ideas. And this is kind of where you can see the first change in kind of how people think about their class. An instructor might come out with this long, elaborate title that really identifies it, and the students may have a shorter version that they tell all their friends and ask, what are you teaching? So that's the first thing, is to think about as an online learner, what do you really want to learn? What is the class really about? And kind of keep things a little simpler. The other thing that has to go along with online learning is your prior knowledge and experience. As a learner, you have a set amount of experience that the instructor hopes you know, and you may have some more from other life experience, classes, and other things that are going to affect on how your class progresses. You also have to have a little bit of knowledge about your teacher and your school or college that you're attending. They're going to have certain ways that they go about delivering classes online, what kind of things you're expected to do, rules and regulations, resources, technology you may have available to you, books, things you can check out, all kinds of things that might be specific to your school or college. And then your peers. How much do the rest of the students know, and what's their experience? This is going to change the tone and how people go about a class, kind of based on what each other expects each other to know, and kind of previous experiences with other schools, colleges, or classes. And the last thing is, a lot of times going into a course, an online learner just has blind acceptance. Whatever their instructor says is how we're going to do it. So, what are your expectations as an online learner? Well, hopefully you're expecting there's a good syllabus, something to tell you what books you're going to need, a tentative schedule, and when things are going to happen, when big assignments, tests, other things that you might have are going to be throughout the semester, so you can be better prepared for them. You also like to know what kind of homework you're going to have. In an online class, this may vary a little bit. It may not always be in the syllabus. It may be put where the assignment is going to be, or in your readings or other areas that may have that kind of information. And then you're going to like to know what you need to get a good grade. A lot of times education teachers use rubrics. They're going to have some that kind of spells out to you that you need to do this to get this type of grade. And then last but not least, as far as the technology part, what kind of computer are you going to need? Are you going to have the right thing that you need to access the content each week, to view it, to play it back, to store it, to save it? What are you going to need? Hopefully they'll tell you. And then the last thing you hope is at least that your instructor will communicate with you. Communication is the key, I think, to a good online learning experience. So, can you think of any more? Most of us have some worries that we may have about taking online classes, whether we're comfortable or not. We may not know what you're going to learn, or you may not be sure what you're going to get versus a regular on-campus course. And then, what do you think in general that courses are going to be like at FHSU? How are they going to vary from somewhere else? And am I a real person still if I'm on the other end of the screen? There's a lot of anonymity that goes with being an online learner. And hopefully your instructor gives you opportunities to interact with other students, to participate, ask questions of your instructor, and actually be involved in the course. So what do teachers expect? Well, they hope that you'll show up, you'll log in, basically you'll go over the content and perform normally as you would in any other classroom. In this class we talk a little more about Blackboard in general to kind of get you set up for online learning. But once you've been to one for about a week or two, you pretty much know Blackboard, and it's not too bad. The other things are general ones that you expect as far as participation and discussing what you know in the course, and last of all, proper etiquette. They want you to behave courteous to the other students as you would in a regular campus classroom. Some other things is take your responsibility for being a good student. All students really have to step up and learn some self-discipline and know when to turn their homework in, how much time they're going to need each week, and different things like that to keep a good grade. So some problems with these expectations. Often a teacher will fail to communicate, or a student may do so in the same manner if things are a problem. Students may ignore or disagree expectations that are set by the teacher. Students may fail to communicate what they think's going on, or what problems they have, or how they're reading things. And sometimes the teacher does the same thing with them. Things you didn't know. Well, most of the online students are going to demonstrate some kind of increase in their technology skills. This, whether you're logging in for the first time, whether you're using discussion boards, or finding some, I don't know, software you've never played with. Most of them learn to generate kind of a schedule, or a certain type of independent learning, a self-directed style of learning that they haven't done before. Some students find out they prefer different learning styles, and they need to have their styles met to really be successful in online learning. Reading doesn't work for everybody, audio doesn't work for everybody, video doesn't work for everybody. So a little blending of skills actually helps most learners to be more effective. And then the last one, 95% of students demonstrate an ability to communicate effectively using web-based tools. And I mean by email, discussion board, chat, posting on wikis, blogs, different things like that. So here's some things that you're going to probably improve with as an online learner. Things that I should be doing. Well, it's a adult learning for most parts in the college situation, and so we're going to apply it to their context. If I'm working with younger students, then I need to adjust it for their context. Be self-aware of what's the best learning environment for your learners, and that works for any age group. Analyze, discuss, and adjust. There's a lot of tentative things and problem solving that goes with any online class as well as in the classroom, so it really doesn't change that much. And another thing is, people like to interact with each other, so providing opportunities to engage in different ways through the internet or different software really makes it a lot more fun as an online learner. And then the biggest thing I really believe is giving people enough time to reflect on the content and what they're learning, as well as the environment they're learning it in. This takes a little more time than a normal traditional classroom that you've already become comfortable with, where the online you may get a curveball every once in a while. So what's the most important rule? Yep, communicate. If you've got problems or you're having troubles, communicate with your peers, communicate with your instructor, and make sure that you don't remain silent. So, a couple things we want to reflect on. How should a syllabus really have been written? What's some things that we could do to make it better? And looking back as if you were a teacher for next year, think of some things that could improve next semester. And what has helped you succeed so far, or what's some things you've seen other people do that have helped them succeed in online learning?